I want to commend you for the good work you're doing, always being in the House and legislating for your people.
On Tuesday, 14th March 2023, Parliament passed the Law Revision Amendment Bill 2022, which allows the Attorney General, working in tandem with the Uganda Law Reform Commission, to continuously revise and lay before Parliament latest editions of the laws of Uganda.
The object of the Law Revision Miscellaneous Amendments Bill 222 is to provide for the repeal of specified acts, to provide for the conversion of fines and other financial amounts in the specified laws to currency points, to provide for the conversion of financial amounts expressed in pounds in specified laws to currency points, to provide for the amendment of several laws to correct the anomalies in those laws and to effect the decisions of the Constitutional Court and Supreme Court, to transfer provisions in the Finance Act to the relevant laws and to incorporate provisions on winding up in the Collective Investment Scheme Act, the Partnership Act and the Cooperatives Societies Act, and for related matters.
The purpose of this piece of legislation is to clean. If the Constitutional Court says Section 6 is unconstitutional, I remove Section 6. Even if it has the effect on 7, 8, and 9, even if the remaining 7, 8, and 9 read absurdly, I am not amending. I am cleaning. So once I remove what the court has told me to remove, if in your view the rest of the paragraphs are redundant, then we leave them on the statute book and then we do what we call a revision at an appropriate time.
I put a question that the Law Revision Miscellaneous Amendment Bill 2022 be read the third time and do pass. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
A bill for an act titled the Law Revision Miscellaneous Amendments Act 2023.
Bill passed and title settled.
In the sitting, the Attorney General, Honorable Chirio Wachiwanuka, also clarified on the fate of staff employed in agencies that underwent mergers.
The government, on your right, undertook an exercise of rationalization. And this one has impacted greatly on the performance of the MDAs, with some not certain of their existence tomorrow.
Agencies that were created by law remain legally existent until Parliament has pronounced itself otherwise. The expectation is that any ministry with an agency whose intention it is to be rationalized must provide budgetary provision for it and continue with its existence until such time as Parliament has pronounced itself otherwise.
The House also received the Public Service Pension Bill 2023.
Honorable Speaker, with me I have Public Service Pension Bill, and I beg it should be read for the first time. The bill is entitled Public Service Pension Bill 2023. I beg to lay.
The bill stands referred to the Committee of Public Service and Local Government pursuant to Rule 121 of the Rules of Procedure and Rule 1292 of the Rules of Procedure. Thank you.
On Wednesday, 15th March 2023, the House adopted a report of the Adhoc Committee on the Bujagali Power Project, which directed Bujagali Energy Limited to refund $342 million to Government of Uganda for overpaid fees, subject to a forensic audit by the Auditor General. The committee chairperson, Honorable Dickson Kateshumbwa, said that the total payment to Bujagali Energy Limited between 2012 and 2022 should have been $329 million, but instead, government paid $671 million, resulting in an excess payment of $342 million. The committee also recommended for the recovery of all taxes that were not paid by Bujagali before the exemption, amounting to $63 million during the first 5 years of development of the project.
Through the Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development, government should initiate processes to renegotiate the power purchase agreements with Bujagali Energy Limited, provide for a capped return on investment and a utilization factor to reduce the tariff costs before deciding on the extension of the waiver. With the corporate income tax waiver, the tariff would have gone down to 6.6 US cents per kilowatt. With the exemption, it would have gone down to 5.72. Consideration of the CIT waiver should only be made after the refund of excess payments by bail and the completion of renegotiations.
There are quite a number of figures and formulas that have been set out in this document. I think government needs to sit down, understand the figures, first of all, and establish that the figures are the correct ones. And if indeed the figures are the correct one and the wrong formula was used to compute the payments that are supposed to be made to Bujagali, every action necessary to be taken will be taken to recover what is rightfully due to government.
Recently, when you sent us to benchmark in Zambia, we noted that tax holidays and waivers did not necessarily benefit that country. I would like to propose that government reviews this policy on tax waivers. You see that Bell decided as soon as they realized they were making money, they started withdrawing their investment. So these investors end their participation in the economy before the time given them for the tax holiday.
On the recommendation which reads through the Minister of Energy and the Mineral Development, the government should initiate processes to renegotiate. I want us to replace renegotiate with review, so that we don't say renegotiate. We say a process to review, because the end might be a termination. So we should review, not renegotiate.
You're going to bring the proposals and the actions that you have already taken. Not so? And we've given you 3 months. Within 3 months. You can even bring it tomorrow. I now put a question that the report of Adhoc committee on Bujagali tax waiver be adopted by this House. Those with amendments, those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
In the sitting, the Speaker, Anita Among, returned 500 iron sheets she received from the Office of the Prime Minister, which were meant for the disarmament program in Karamoja sub-region.
In my district, I got a call that iron sheets have been brought. And when they were taken, I said, give it to the schools. Little did I know that the iron sheets were made for another region. But after thorough analysis and looking at if the iron sheets were meant for Karamoja, not for Bukedea, I have taken a personal decision as a leader that since it was not allocated to my district, but also the iron sheets were given already out, I have decided to buy 500 iron sheets and give it back. I don't want to be ashamed to Parliament. And I'm doing this for the House.
Thank you, Madam Right Honourable Speaker, for that magnanimity. Thank you for that simplicity. Thank you for coming out to show leadership. It's very important that this example you have given, you have showed that kind of good leadership, be immediately followed up by other colleagues of ours. We all know that very many of these honorable colleagues of ours are really innocent.
Right Honorable Speaker, we seek your indulgence to ensure the committee reaches home. People have been waiting in all our district headquarters since Monday to give their evidences to the committee.
On Thursday, 16th March 2023, President Yoweri Museveni put corrupt officials on notice over the Parish Development Model, a parish microfinance scheme operated by the government to finance local enterprises.
I've started touring and inspecting the 18 zones of Uganda. I started with Acholi between the 23rd and the 24th of February 2023. Straight away, the Wananchi told me of the parasites that were like flies swarming around the PDM and the Myoga money. I will decisively follow up the attempted stealing of the PDM and the Myoga money in Acholi, and if they tampered with the money, they will pay for that treachery. They will be an example to the rest of the potential flies. I have read the report of the Parliament. The Speaker sent me the report. There are many observations there that point out the weaknesses. This is the final position. PDM must work. The Myoga must work.
The Speaker, Anita Among, commended the 11th Parliament for their exceptional legislative performance in the new session that commenced in June 2022.
Since the last address of this House, during the State of Nation address and official opening of the second session of the 11th Parliament, that was on 7th June 2022, we have had 76 sittings of the House. During these sittings, we have passed 24 bills, administered 7 oaths, passed 31 resolutions, adopted 42 committee reports, and concluded 2 petitions. In terms of legislation, the 24 bills passed so far in the second session exceed the 23 passed in the first session. Yet we still have 3 months to end of the session, meaning this session is going to be one of our best sessions. Honorable members, we now adjourn the House to Tuesday, 21st March 2023 at 2.